Okay, hello everyone. So we'll be covering chapter 3, section 3 for grade 7, algebra periodic. First of all, let's understand this question. Now, when you're going to face these questions, there are two types. One, that there's a substitution method that you're going to follow, or the elimination method. Remember, both of these methods you can do both of them on each of the questions, but remember, some of the questions have steps. Another thing is that in the written part, whenever you will have the written part, and because these are the new concepts, they will at least have one question like this in the written part. You have to follow what they're saying. If they say substitution method, be careful and follow the substitution method. If you have gone through these quizzes, you will know what I'm talking about, substitution, elimination, and even if you've studied in class. So let's start with the first question, okay? Y is equal to 2x plus 5. What is that? So y equals to 2x plus 5, x is equals to y minus 16. Whenever you choose which question to substitute where, first of all, continue with reading the questions. Don't be in a hurry. First, what are they saying here is substituting x from the second equation. Let's number them. This is the second equation into the first equation, okay? Substituting the second equation into the first equation. And simplifying the results in y is equal to y minus box. Okay, so let's do that. They want x equals to y minus 16. And they want to substitute for x. And that equation is very easy for you. Why? Because they already wrote it in terms of x. So what will you directly? You will write y is equals to 2 y minus 16 plus 5. I substituted the second equation to the first. That's where the instructions were given to me from the first question. I did that. I got y is equals to, and I can solve it as you know from grade 6. Remember grade 7, whenever you're trying to solve these questions, so I am taking a longer time, but whenever you solve these questions, remembering what you did in grade 6, relatability helps you a lot in studying. And don't be scared to study the math, because the more you practice, the more easy it will become for you. So you will distribute this 2y and 2 times minus 16. So 2y minus 32 is your answer here. 32 plus 5. Okay. So now what is it going to be? So we'll take this to the other side. It will become y minus 2y is equals to minus 32 plus 5. Okay, now y minus 2y, you know instantly that the bigger, which number has the sign, the bigger number 2 has the sign negative, you carry the sign of that. A lot of students still get confused about this because the new students that join me for private sessions, they always get confused about this. And I always ask them, please, don't worry about it. Just always put the sign of the bigger number that you have. So what is the sign that we have? Minus. So we put the minus there and then put minus 1y equals to minus 32 plus 5 is minus 27. Now you have negative both sides. Whenever you have negative both sides, if you don't want to cancel it directly from here, because automatically it will get cancelled directly from here. But if that is confusing for you, don't worry about it. Just bring it down. Put it here, minus 1. Because remember, we want what y is equals to. That's what they're asking for, what y is equals to. So we only want the y alone. So any sign also beside the y, you'll bring it down. So it will become 27. Y is equals to 27. Put that here. Okay. So y minus 2y, we already know y minus 2y. What did we get? 32. Remember, the negative sign is already there. Don't put the negative sign again. These little details are very important. So put 32 there. Then when you're solving for y, what do you get for y? 27. Okay. The next one, substituting the value of y in the second equation, simplifying gives x equals to. You already, through the steps that they gave us, you already solved for y. Now what will you do? You will put this y into this equation, into the simple equation, whatever is easy for you. You can put it in the first one or you can put it in the second one. Why did I choose the second one? Because in the second one, they said x is equals to. So I don't have to move anything. I don't have to do anything. I'll just put 27 and I'll replace the y by 27. Remember, we used to do this in grade 6 as well. They used to give us one of the variables numbers and we used to solve it. So x is equals to 27 minus 16. I know 27 minus 16 is how much? 11. Now let's do this one. Now whenever we have this one, what are we doing? We have, again, we'll do the same steps again. So x equals to, y is equals to x plus 7 and y equals to 2x plus 7. Here they're doing the substitution method. Again, be careful about which method they're asking for, substitution method. Practice it along this way in this quiz, just the substitution method. Even though the elimination method would be easy for you, but do this one right now. So y equals to x plus 7, y equals to 2x plus 7. For me, it's very clear. What will I do? The simple equation is this. So I will take this one and I'll substitute it here. So it becomes easy for me to solve. So it becomes 2x. Remember, I'm substituting for y. So what am I saying? First of all, keep in mind that whenever you're solving these equations, right, you only have one variable to worry about. That is the main goal of these substitution methods. Okay, so whenever you have y equals to x plus y is equals to x plus 7, what happens? You have another one, y equals to 2x plus 7. Which equation seems simpler? The top one. I'll number it as 1. And the second one is a bit longer. I would say it's not complicated, but just a bit longer. Just a 2 is there. So what will I do? I'll put it in here. Now when I do this, be careful, grade 7. Watch this very carefully. You guys took x plus 7 is equals to x plus 7. Now what is this? I only have one variable to deal with right now. This is the whole purpose of the substitution method. When you do this, start simplifying. You'll take 7 to the other side. It becomes, let me change the color, it becomes minus 7. Let's erase the 7 from here. You'll take the x to the other side. It will become 2x minus x becomes x is equals to 0. Now remember, the x is still there. They're saying x equals to 0. So it means x has a solution, right? When you take x to the other side, what does it become? It becomes minus x. So x is equals to 0 and 7 minus 7 was what? 0. So when you're doing this, you get x equals to 0. Now what will you do here? Keep in mind what will you do here? You'll just write here as one solution. You get the answer like this. Just let me recheck this so to make sure everything was correct. Yeah, so everything is clear. I hope this is clear for you as well. You can always reach out to me if you have any questions. So let's go to the next question. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now we have B. What do we do in B? Y, again, the same thing. Y is equals to x plus 7, 2y equals to 2x plus 14. Now what will I do? Instantly, I will see, okay, the first question is already in terms of y. Like they already said y is equals to this. I'll put that in here. I'll replace this in here. You can do it any way you want. You just have to reach the final answer, but in a less complicated way so you don't get confused in middle of the solving. So I'm also telling you the direction how you can solve it in a faster and easier way. So y is equals to x plus 7. Now what happens? You put the 2 here. You replace this y, but the y above. What do I mean by that? They said y is equals to x plus 7. It will be x plus 7 is equals to 2x plus 14. Remember, why do we do the substitution? To only get one, like one variable at a time, you have to deal with it. So you get 2x plus 14 is equals to 2x plus 14. So what is this? When you try to solve it, you get 2x minus 2x. You bring the 2x to this side, and then you take the 14 to the other side as well. You get minus 14. So you get 14 minus 14. What does that give us? 0 is equals to 0. 0 is always equals to 0. So what does that mean? Infinitely many solutions, right? Because it's always true. Even if you didn't have 0 here, so it means whatever you put in these numbers, you always get 7 equals to 7, which is true. 7 is equals to 7 always. So let's go to the next one. Then you have y is equals to x plus 7. Again, you will do the same thing. 2 times x plus 7 equals to 2x plus 7. Okay, again, I just replaced the y in here by x plus 7. You get 2x plus 14 is equals to 2x plus 7. What do you get here? 2x minus 2x is 0. And then 14, here, if I bring 14 here, I'll get minus 7. Now, can 0 ever be equals to minus 7? No, so there is no solution. Remember, we also did these kind of questions in grade 6 as well. So let's go to the next question. Now, x minus y is equals to 14. X over 4 is equals to 5. Remember, instantly, what are you supposed to do? You know that if you have recalled everything in grade 6, you will know instantly what will you do? You'll solve for this. So you'll get x is equals to 5 times 4, which is 20. You got the answer for x. So what will you do? Easily you can find what y is because you replace this x here. Because if you look at the question, just keep looking at this part of the question and keep getting confused. Why? Because here there are two variables. You don't know what to do next. You don't know any numbers for that. So when you solve the second equation, it makes your life easier. You replace the x by 20. 20 minus y is equals to 14. Now what is that? 14. So we take 20 to the other side. 14 minus 20 is 6. Minus 6, right? Because minus 20. 20 is the bigger number. What sign carries negative? So we'll put the negative sign here. Minus y is equals to minus 6. We cross out the minus and we get y equals to 6. There you go. Let's go to the next question. We're nearly done. Okay. Here, what do we do? Consider the system y minus 3x equals to 4, 3y minus 6x equals to 18. Again, what are we doing? They're following substitution method, but here don't start directly. Read the questions below. There's part A, solve it according to the instructions they are giving you. So you won't make a mistake. Solving the second equation for y yields the equation as. So they want us this one in terms of y. So what do we do? In terms of y, it means we want y equals to something. So everything else will go to the other side, and y will be alone, without any coefficient, without any numbers beside it. So it will be 3y first is equals to 18 plus 6x. Divide this by 3. Y is equals to 6 plus 2x. What does that give us? 6 plus 2x. And then what do you do? Again, you have made this in terms already of y. So what will we do? We will just substitute the y by these terms. So we'll substitute the y in here by this. Why? Because we already have solved it, right? So we'll just put the y in here. We'll get 6 plus 2x is equals to, minus 3x is equals to 4. Now remember, why am I doing it like this? Because see, I'll just get x and then I will replace the x by that number and I'll solve for y. So I did not do any extra step. I'm just going to go in the flow, how they are telling me how to solve it. So even though they're looking for y here, but let's do it step by step. So 6 minus x is equals to 4. And what is this? We'll take 6 to the other side, becomes minus 6. So minus x is equals to, again, we'll take the sign of the bigger number, minus 2. We cross the minus on both sides, x equals to 2. So now I have x equals to 2, I'll put it up here. I'm not going to put the answer here. Remember, grade 7. These are the coordinates, like the x and y. They're asking, this is the x and this is the y. What are they asking for? They're asking for the y here, not the x. So we'll replace the x by 2, y minus 3 times 2 is equals to 4. Y is 6, 4, it's minus 6, right here, minus 6, let us solve it, minus 6. Let me write it in a more proper way so you don't get confused. Y is equals to minus 6 is equals to, minus 6 is equals to 4. You take this to the other side and you make it plus 6. What is y? Y is equals to 10. Okay, this is how you'll get this answer. 1 second. Let's go to the next question. Y is equals to 10. I know some people will ask, like, why didn't you just directly solve for the y first? And because they have already made it in terms of this, I can easily just put this in here. If I have to do it in terms of x and then I put it in the other one and solve for y, that will take me a lot more time. So there's also a way of solving your time. Reducing your time. Let's go to this one. Now they're asking for, here I can do it independently how I want it, right? But they also have given you a hint like this, that they made x equals to 3y plus 2, even though they are looking for the x, but they want us to replace the x in the next equation. If I just simply look at the equation, if you don't want to do it that way, if you don't want to replace the x in the next equation, so remember, what do I mean by if I want to replace the x in the next equation? It will be all in terms of y. So you will be looking for y first, and then you will find what x is, after you find what y is. So if you don't want to do it that way, let's do it this way. X, the first one, I will put in terms of y, yeah. X minus 2, and you'll see why am I doing it like that, over 3, okay, is equals to y. Why did I do it this way? So I remove this y and you directly get what x is equals to, okay? So x over 3, 2, x plus 3, x over 3 minus 2 over 3. Now this makes our life very easy here because we have, let's do the 2x, let's multiply it first. So no confusion is there, plus 3x over 3 minus 6 over 3. Now I can simplify this. 2x plus, I'll cross out these two x's. I'll cross out this, I'll get x minus 6 divided by 3 is what, 2. So this became very simple for us, equals to y. So 2x plus x is 3x. Sorry, not this y. I'm supposed to replace this. Let's remove this y. Because this is not equals to y, this is equals to 76. Let me just replace it here as well. Because I put the first equation and the second equation, right? So that's equals to 76. So 3x minus 2y is equals to 76. I'm going to take this to the other side. I get 78. 3x equals to 78. Now I can just, simplify it. I'll get 3. 1 second. 78. I'll get here 2. A 6 here down. I'm dividing it. 1, 18. And 6 here, 26. So here got 26 directly next. What made our life easier here is that even though we made the fraction, we had 3 here already. So when we distributed it, we could remove the fraction. Usually I know some students, they get annoyed by the fraction, the addition, and the subtraction of it. Good luck for this grade 7. If you want anything else, any other questions, comment down below. Comment as much as you want. Like, you can tell me any other section, any other questions you would like me to revise, and reach out to me at my number if you want to ask any questions, okay? And there are private sessions, group sessions that you can join. Take care of yourself.